All right, now let's look at someone who is likely to get in about less than 10,000 rank, but potential to be in the top 5,000 too, and I'll tell you why I feel so. Several of the subjects are perhaps in the mid-range. Now, it's not bad to be in the 50th, 60th, 70th percentile that this person is, because if you see the performance is somewhat similar across many of these subjects, that's not necessarily a very bad sign. It means that there's nothing is all red, that nothing is in the bottom quartile that we should be too worried about. So what should we do here to get to the top, say, 1,000, 2,000 ranks? And right now the potential shows somewhere in the top 7, 8,000 ranks. How do you do that? Here's how. Let's look at some more data. You see this person has started improving since June, July, and appears to be working consistently and is rising up. We see a curve going up, but we're kind of getting towards the end of the timeline. There's very little time left. Let's look at the success rate by difficulty. This is where you start seeing something interesting. If you actually see moderate and hard, performance is not terrible. It still calls for improvement, but these two numbers are about what I would expect for the 5,000 range, say. But if you look at the easy performance, they need to improve a little bit. This doctor needs to have the easy question performance climb over 92% and just doing that, focusing on the easy improvement, will get them to the top 5,000 comfortably. How would you do that? Let's talk about it. But before we go there, let's just look at how well they are practicing quite well. So, this is what you would expect doing 2,000-3,000 questions. This is a good number to do at about this stage, doing a good amount of practice of questions. Now let's go back and see the PrepDNA. What would you do? You have to attack subjects. Now, subjects, you don't necessarily have to go left to right. You can pick up subjects because all subjects are important, as we talked about. You can look at the short subjects. You can see the ones here: orthopedics, radiology, skin, ENT, psychiatry, anesthesia. All of these are ones in which they can study the notes. Generally, when somebody is at about this level of easy, performance on easy being less than 90%, a little bit of going back to notes is necessary. Go back to notes, come back and practice these ones, and these are high leverage subjects. Again, from the perspective of notes to performance, there's very little notes to study. Dr. Benson mentioned that in his blog, and I'll put the link to the blog. He mentioned that if you study some of these smaller subjects, these short subjects which have a total of almost 65, 70 questions coming from them, there's very less notes to cover, and you tend to improve a lot. So at this stage, even some push on the notes on these subjects will be helpful for this person. That might be a strategy to start with, and then go on and improve performance in other subjects where particularly they should go subject by subject and see where they are getting particularly bad performance in easy questions. Let's pick something up for an example. So let's look at physiology, and look at physiology. 80% certainly seems to be something that they can improve on. Let's go on. Let's say pathology. 86%. Here they are somewhat better. So you see what I'm saying? You can use this method to just pick up 83% over here in ophthalmology, and that says that they can improve there. You can use this method to decide which subjects to focus on, particularly to improve on easy questions. And that's the way to really supercharge your rank and get an edge over others.